Okay. Hello, everybody who is watching in the future and in the present. We're continuing our tradition, long-standing 1 month long tradition of going live on Wednesdays. And it's the whole month of the topic of bike theft. And so today we're talking about registering your bike, and we're doing that with registration professional. Is that too much of a speaking too highly of you? No, I think that's appropriate, right, Jesse?
Well, I mean, I've registered a bike or two, sure.
Sure, that counts. So, without any further ado, why don't you take it away?
All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. Yeah, so this is Bike Awareness Month. We are this week, focusing on registering your bike and kind of going over the process and kind of why it's important. And then we'll watch. We're partnering with Bike Index, so we're going to kind of focus on bike registration with them. Watch a quick video once I've kind of gone through some of my highlights, and then we'll open up for some questions and answers. So common things that people ask about bike registration is, well, you know, you create a profile for each of your bikes online. Like I said, we're going to be focusing with Bike Index. And then the important question is, unique to every bicycle, just like every car and such, is a serial number. So on bicycles, there are a few common places where you'll find a serial number. Let me grab my remote here and take it over to my bike, which I have set up. Typically, you'll find a serial number. It's usually on the bottom of your bike. I flip mine over just to kind of give you a view of what it would be like on the bottom bracket here, or sometimes it's hidden in there. And on electric bikes, because that's pretty crowded over there, they'll stick it on the head tube. So right here, you can see that I have a serial number for my bike right there. Now, this is important because once if the bike goes missing, then that'll be the thing that identifies the bike. Even if they repaint it, kind of change up the components, then that's the unique identifier for each bike. So speaking of unique identifiers, when you're registering your bike, you'll want, like, bike will come standard with components. But if you do any modifications to your bike, you add a seat that you like, you change the handlebars, maybe you even add some unique pedals or something that makes it stand out, as customize it for you, then those kinds of things you want to add to the description of your bike. So you'll want to take a picture of it, or hopefully you have a picture of it with as it currently looks, and then you'll want to highlight the unique things that stand out for your bike. Sometimes it's going to be, it'll be handlebar tape. Maybe it has a unique color or pattern. Maybe you have a special comfortable seat that you prefer. Maybe you have some add-ons. Maybe you put on a bike rack in the front or the rear. In case my bike actually has a bike rack on both the front and the rear. And then it will be, so it'll stand out. I mean, if your bike is stolen or becomes missing, then those unique things are going to help identify it faster. And then you'll want to make sure to add those unique components, description-wise, to your Bike Index profile. Now, so you may ask, well, would you want to do a police report versus a Bike Index registration? Well, you kind of want to do both. Unfortunately, though, when you do a police report, it can take up to 5 days to become active. And obviously, the early part of a bike going missing is going to be your critical time. So if you already have your bike registered with Bike Index or some other bike registry, then you can activate that, and that becomes instantaneous. Now, it is also important to note that with Bike Index specifically, you can actually retroactively register your bike. So if you have the serial number written down somewhere, you have a good clean photo of the bike, you can add that as a bike registration, and then you can note that it's already missing, that it's already been stolen. So as soon as that becomes active, then everyone else is going to, it'll be available to everyone else to see that that's become missing. And the reason why you want to get this information out as quickly as possible is because, you want people to, if it's going to be seen, to see it before any alterations are made to the bike. Or if it's brought to a bike shop to be sold, sometimes a bike will be that's been stolen will be brought to a bike shop to try and figure out what they can get for the bike as is, or if they may strip it for parts and sell those individually. So if a bike is marked stolen in Bike Index, and the bike shops are aware of this because they're also we're trying to get more and more bike shops hooked up with Bike Index. There's a cool feature that when you buy a bike from a bike shop that has integrated with Bike Index, it'll automatically set up a registration for you, and then we'll send you an email to confirm the bike registration, so that you can basically, you don't have to enter anything, you just activate it, and then it becomes online. You can add pictures, you can add, if you do change your bike up any, you can always add to that and constantly keep that updated. And the important thing is that the more people that use Bike Index or a bike registry, the better the community is going to be able to respond. Once a bike is noted that it's been stolen, then it'll basically alert everyone that has the Bike Index that this bike is missing, and it'll show up. So the more people we can get registered on Bike Index, it is a free service. There's no charge to it. The more people we can get signed up on Bike Index, the more likely you're gonna be able to recover your bike. It's not guaranteed, but it'll be able to spread the information around and alert those in the area that this bike is now missing, and to keep an eye out for it. One of the other important things to remember too, when you're not just, it's important to register your bike on something like Bike Index, but your bike locks are important to register as well. Kryptonite, as well as ABUS and Pinhead, and probably a few others which I'm not aware of. But if you register your lock on their site, then most of them will have some kind of inherent value. That if your bike is stolen with that bike lock, then they may be able to reimburse you for the cost of the bike. So it's important to, as in many places you possibly can, your bike lock, a Bike Index, register your bike, and hopefully, without that out there, that'll really deter a bike being missing for very long. That's for sure. We do have a quick video I'd like to play for you. It kind of goes through the registration process that's put out by Bike Index. Kevin, if you can cue that up.
There are a few ways to register a stolen bike on Bike Index. First, create a free account at bikeindex.org. Once you are signed up and logged in, click the gears in the top right corner to access your account and register a new bike. You'll need a few pieces of information: the bike's serial, if you have it, the make, model, color, and an email address. You'll receive an email notifying you that you've registered. You can see a list of your bikes by clicking the gears again, and then clicking Your Bikes. Go to the bike you want to report as stolen, and click Mark Bike Stolen. One of the first things you'll notice is the option to activate one of our stolen bike alerts. These are not mandatory, but these alerts get thousands of views onto your Bike Index listing by promoting your listing to a bike theft sympathetic audience in the location of the theft. You can pick from 3 plan options. Make sure to select the photo that best represents your bike as a whole. Once you confirm, the bike will be pushed out to Facebook with stolen bike alert imagery. Here is an example of an alert on Facebook. One of the most important things you can do when reporting a bike stolen is adding the address. Otherwise, we can't target your alert to an audience in the theft location. And people will also not know how to keep an eye out for a bike in your location. People can search Bike Index for missing bikes. They can search by serial number, distinguishing bike features, and location. If they see a bike and search Bike Index, They can get in touch with you about its whereabouts via your Bike Index stolen listing. They can write you a message through Bike Index, or if you've made it available, contact you by phone number. It's also super important to add a police report number. This will alert pawn shops in your area to keep an eye out for your stolen bike if someone tries to pawn it. We have a few other tools for sharing your stolen bike far and wide, including populated messages to share on your own social media, such as Twitter and Facebook. We also share your bike on our social media, but more on that in a minute.
All right. So that's a great overview on how it's important to register your bike, the information that you need, activating a stolen bike. And like I said, you can do this retroactively. If you didn't happen to register your bike and it was stolen, you can then add the information and mark that it was stolen. And then that basically makes that information publicly available. You can do this on the Bike Index website, or you can go to the San Diego Bike Coalition website. Under our resources, we have a bike theft page. And basically, it kind of goes through some of the steps I've been talking about today, about filing a police report, registering your lock. Let me see if I can. And then, alerting through Bike Index, rather. We do have a sign up embedded right into their webpage, so you can right from there you can register a bike. And I would recommend registering all your bikes, and if anything changes about your bikes, then certainly keep those updated, because the faster we can get this information out and about, the more people are going to be aware of it and look out for it, and then hopefully we'll spot it and get it back to you. It is one of the best ways, really, that I've seen to get your bike back if it has been stolen.